everybody, welcome! My name is Ursa Ryan, and we now have less than 40 days until Civ 7 is launched. That means we are running out of time. I only have a few videos left to show you the series that I really want to show you, and this one is very important, because everybody has their favorite civs, everyone has their worst civs. This, I believe, is the civ that is the most criminally underappreciated by the wider community. I don't know why Mapuche isn't loved more. It will forever be one of my favorite civs in the entire game, and today I will show you why people generally have this civ all wrong, and why, if you haven't played with them yet, you need to. Let's just get started. In turn 1, look at this. We have marsh, bananas, some coffee, a couple of stones, and a lot of desert. This is a very typical mirror map start. If you've never played a mirror map before, you need to. They're 4-player, symmetrical mirror maps. They're really, really cool. Fantastic for multiplayer. I genuinely have some of my most fun games on these maps. They're really small. You get to play the tactics you want. There's a good chance you'll get wonders, and they're very, very competitive. They do have a lot of these river, desert, or tundra starts. Everyone will have the same start. It'll be interesting to see if the AI does the same thing that I do. Now, I'm kind of thinking either I cross over to the coffee or I head towards these bananas. I could also cross the river and settle on top of the gypsum, which wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I think, however, we're going to be more appealed and interested in the breathtaking tiles to the south of me. Breathtaking tiles. Remember that for later. So we're going to cross the river and go to the coffee. Settling on this gives us 1 luxury, but also an extra culture per turn. Sure, there's a lot of desert here. That's not ideal, but we can handle a bit of desert. Ah, the beautiful capital, the sailing boost for fresh water, the extra culture per turn. There's a lot to like about this city. Yet another fantastic shout out to all the wonderful people that support me on Coffee and Patreon. I like to thank these channel members by naming my cities after them. Thank you so much. You help me to do what I want to do. You help this channel to flourish as it does. So thank you very much. Start with the scout. We're working a 2-1 tile. It's not the best, but there is a little bit of wheat. We can get an improvement down on these stone tiles later. There's a lot to be improved in this area. I'm not worried too much about this start. We're going to go for a religion. Mapuche and religion synergize like cheese and fine wine. And the code of laws is being worked on nice and quickly, which is fantastic. Early game culture for Mapuche is very handy because we want to unlock our unique improvement as soon as we can, the Chemamol. The way to think about this thing is it's basically a mine because it gives 1 production, but it doesn't reduce appeal, and it gives culture equal to 75% of a tile's appeal. So for instance, if I was to settle and put 1 on this tile, it would have +1 production, +3 culture. It is an incredibly strong improvement. It is vital that we work on culture as quickly as we can with these improvements, because we are going to be working on other things with our districts. Mapuche is all about combining Swift Hawk with your Tokwi ability. Oh, let me just tell you, Mapuche is so strong. People sleep on how strong Mapuche is. Such a powerful civ. On these mirror maps, one of the early things we need to figure out is whether we're at the bottom or the top of them. It looks like we're at the bottom. Then you need to work out whether we're in the left-hand side or the right-hand side of these. There are normally 6 city-states. There's a wonder in the middle. You kind of learn the rhythm for them eventually. I'm guessing I might be in the bottom left of the map, which is fairly typical. Usual play with the warrior, just heading in circles. We are very close to Norway. Interesting. Wanted to meet you. Love to sample your hospitality. We'll keep an eye out for this horrible red and blue abomination of a color scheme. We are playing on standard deity difficulty with barb clans on, so expecting the AI to rush us, it is kind of likely. Feels like they moved slightly differently to me for this settle. It's not an identical start. We'll keep an eye out for this. If Norway does decide to rush me, we need to be ready for that. Oh, we will be ready for that. Trust me, Mapuche is very good at that sort of thing. I bounce between rushing an early settler and making sure my capital is really plump and productive, especially when I'm going for an early game religion. However, the start isn't ideal in terms of tiles, and there are much better tiles over here. So in this particular instance, it makes more sense to go and settle another city. Not much breathtaking appeal in this land. It's not ideal for Mapuche, but it will do. Let's plonk God King and discipline in. There are barbs, they are running around, they are being mighty annoying. We don't want to let them win. And now on to the Chemamul. The quicker we can get one of those down, the better. There's a barb camp. It wants to sell me a spearman for 155 gold, which is actually fairly tempting. I like spearmen. You can get a kill with them. You typically can progress through the tech tree a little quicker, which is very good. There's 40 gold. Other thing we can, of course, do is save for an early game builder. 200 gold. It's quite affordable. I'm going to lurk my scout in this area because it looks like a CAD, who we have found first. 1 extra production for the settler, lovely. Looks like they may be wearing this barb camp down. If I can creep in and get the killing blow, I will. But we might miss out slightly on this. It looks like they might... Oh, no, they're not going to double attack. They did double attack. Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay, we won't get the era score this time. Oh, another barb in that direction. Lovely. Man, am I happy to see you. Astrology unlocked. Now let's go through the usual. Animal husbandry into possibly mining, seeing as we have a bunch of stone and quarries around us. If we had more production, I'd be very tempted to go for Stonehenge. But we don't have more production. This start is pretty rubbish. No matter, it'll be even more glorious when we win. The card is just refusing to kill the barb camp. It's quite infuriating because I would kill it if you let me. I'd be very happy to kill it. Ah man, another barb camp has just appeared there, which is annoying. Looking to settle a city over in this direction. We still can, but it means we've just got to be super careful now. There's nothing that I actually need to defend in my capital. There are no improvements here at the moment, so I'm going to lead it unguarded. That's fine for now. And a 3 holy site. We don't need the faith particularly. I just want the religion. It's more important that we get a religion. It doesn't really matter what the religion does. It just is more important that we have one. Normally, I would wait for the craftsmanship boost, but I really want to get the Chemimal unlocked as soon as possible, so that's why we're doing that. Oh, that's annoying. This barb has actually moved itself onto the tile that I was potentially going to settle on there. Well, that's just annoying. Fine. I could settle on this tile instead. It's more important that I just get some cities down. That would actually give me a spot over there that I could settle on. It's not the worst. Okay, let's claim this area. The barb's probably going to jump out there and squeeze us on 2 different angles, but we'll make do where we can. As long as we've got discipline, we should be all right. Muscat, first meat, bit of the extra gold per turn. Another tribal village. That's a relic. Oh, game, you really shouldn't have. I do like a good relic start. Blimey. Foreign trade boosted. We found a new continent, and we are actually getting a decent amount of tribal villages. Not hundreds, but we've had 2 or 3, which is quite good. Right, let's just get the beautiful luxury down. And yes, there are a lot of barbarians here, but they haven't really got the strength to take the city out, so we should be fine. Let's instead just work the holy site. Let's get these 2 down as quickly as we can. That should be plenty to get our religion. Hopefully. We should get a pantheon very soon, actually. This relic is awesome. In fact, let's wait. We might just sell the relic the gold here, assuming we find an AI with enough gold to actually buy it, because I want full price for this thing. And let's get this builder in now. Getting good momentum today, good early religion, a lot of science. Working on my districts is all going to be important. So today we're going to go Divine Spark. I have 2 sources of horse, so pastures or strategic improvement would be quite good. In fact, there's another sheep there. These would all be really good for culture, these improvements, to be fair. But I think I'd rather go for the religion as soon as possible. So Divine Spark will give us extra great people points, and it will also help us to get this first library going as soon as possible, which would be really good if we could do that. And for momentum, I know I could probably get more if I waited. I'm gonna get rid of the relic, the 203 gold and 25 gold per turn, because it'll probably give me really good friendship with Norway, but it'll also mean that I can use the barbs to get a few more extra warriors. Really, the spearman is what I wanted. The barb camp being destroyed is not good. This is all just early game momentum where I can get the warriors in. We can start to get the improvements out as soon as possible. What's in this tribal village? 75 gold. It's all about early game momentum. In fact, I'm going to spend a bit more money on a slinger to try and get the archery boost, which I already have. Amazing. Second kill. Amazing. More barbs on the way, but we've almost got the holy site finished already. And here is my first unique improvement. It's on a tile with +5 appeal, which is lovely because it's going to get another appeal from this holy site. Look, I even thought about it. That'll give it +6, but for now, bam, 3 culture and 1 production from this amazing unique improvement. We are going to rush through the early game culture tree to get the government fast as we can, and later on we're going to be unlocking some amazing things like civil service and feudalism and monarchy, and then amazingly going to nationalism soon as possible. Science is important because we want to get to the Malon Raider. Remember the Malon Raider? This thing is an absolute menace and I love it. Oh, here come the barbs. They are really ready to ruin my day. Look at this. Look at this for a barb start. I know sometimes there's a bit of a joke that's like, Ursa never really bothers to fight barbs, but I mean, look at this. This is quite ridiculous. All right, well, there's a lot of slingers, which isn't ideal. I'm gonna try and do the damage to them whilst we can. Bam, let's hit that. I can't defend the holy site, which is a little annoying. If I put the warrior on that tile, it will die immediately. So let's pull back to here. We're going to have to just take a more defendable spot, and we'll work on some more slingers. But we might be able to actually buy a second one or another warrior. Let's go for another warrior. I think a second one is a good thing. A military tradition, rushing it because I need the extra combat strength. So they are moving on to the holy site. That's annoying, but fine. I got the slinger kill down here, which is brilliantly useful. I'm going to chop out the stone, I think, to give myself another slinger. Or do I? Do I get the quarry for a little bit of extra production? Maybe the extra production's good. Yeah, let's do that. The masonry boost is quite handy. Now straight on to archery. Gilgamesh, you know what this means. Honored to meet you. And oh dear, you're very much being flooded. Would you like to be friends? Yay, they want to be friends. Do you want to buy all of my luxuries? It is tempting to sell them, you know. I'll keep them for now, but I'm very tempted to sell them. Okay, we got the kill there. We are going to get the garrison promotion, and we're going to defend our beautiful tile for as long as possible. Over here, this warrior is actually doing okay. Just fortify on the hill and give yourself battle cry. They'll attack you. We should be able to fight them off. Let's buy these gems. Now I've got a 10% extra yield bonus on everything going on in my capital. Lovely. Yeah, they're attacking me twice, but I held not enough experience for a promotion yet. But I think we should be able to hold for one more turn, unbelievably. Let's pull you back, and my slinger can come and get the kill, which means I've got time to get the irrigation boost as well. Look, my capital's got actual yields now. Let's work on the shrine. Building up infrastructure as quickly as we can. Still fortifying. The barbs are being pushed back slowly, he says, knowing that next turn, I'm likely then going to get pushed back even further because they'll spawn about 101 barbs. No, actually, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. There we go. Another kill. Let's find this barb camp and take it out. Geneva. It's a good find. It's a good find. Gilgamesh getting all that extra science is slightly worrying because Gilgamesh's early science is normally pretty good. 60 faith. 60 faith in a tribal village. That's absolutely wild. Sure. Engineer ends in 5 turns. That's unfortunate. But we have another holy site here, and we can just immediately buy in the shrine, which means we have time to try and get a builder in, depending on the tiles around me. There are some good improvable tiles here, you know. Bit of chopping that could be done over there. Builder. I think builders are always good. If you don't know what to do, just go for a builder. Chances are it'll be the correct move. The clan is dispersed for 3 era score. Military tradition is finished. That's amazing stuff. That's exactly what you want to see. And there's Sweden, the last player on the map. We've met everyone. That gives me 5 era score. I only need a little bit to get the golden age. It's going to be close. I don't think we will pull it off because we're not going to quite get the religion in time, annoyingly. Getting a suzerain might be the quickest way to do something, but I think we've left it a little too late to get the spearman. Might have to settle for a normal age. Unfortunate, but with the barbs attacking us as they did, I don't think that's the worst outcome. Oh, that's a lot of gold for my luxuries. Oh, you know what? You can have that. I'm happy to take a small penalty on happiness. That's absolutely fine. I'd rather have the gold. Sell everything early game. That's what I've always said. Sell it all. Sell it all. Christina has got Stonehenge and annoyingly has gone feed the world, which is exactly what I was going to do, but fine. No matter for that. That's okay. We don't mind. There are always other things that we can be doing. Always other lovely, sneaky things that we could be doing. State workforce. We don't need God King anymore. Let's put urban planning in. And rather than rushing cities in the early game, I think I'm going to rush horses. Which sounds a bit weird, but I like that strategy better. So we're going to follow up the early game with Pingala. We're going to start with Pingala and go for the government plaza. We need to utilize Mapuche's strengths, and Mapuche's strengths are all about taking enemy cities. Any city with an established governor gets 5% extra culture, 5% extra production, and 10% extra experience. All of those are tripled in cities that aren't my own. So basically, if I put a governor in a city I capture, it gets 15% culture, 15% production, and 30% combat towards all units trained in the city. Huge. It's a massive, massive bonus. So going for the horse rush is often the most exciting thing you can do. I would always approve of doing it. Another warrior, discount warrior, go for it. Just buy these things from Barb clans. There's another one over there. These are really, really good ways of just decking out an early army. It was actually sent over to Radiatore as opposed to my other city. It was closer. Proof that the world is round, maybe? Have we already done it? Seems early, but I think we have. Now let's see who is in a golden age. This is going to be quite interesting indeed. Everyone except Norway. Ooh, well, okay then. Norway may have a slight lease on life that I didn't expect them to have. They're in a normal age. Never mind. Golden Iron for Sweden, golden for Gilgamesh. What does that mean? Well, I am a swift hawk. Anybody in a golden age, I get plus 10 combat strength against. It is one of the biggest combat bonuses in the entire game. And it works on siege, it works on melee, it works on bombers, it works on navy, it works on absolutely everything. It's brilliant. I cannot advise using it more. Let's go for Exodus. You're going to get a religion and you haven't got one yet. This will by far give you the most era score, and we need to go golden next time out. And let's rush horseback riding now. Norway has 4 cities. Sure, they're not in a golden age, but there are ways around that sort of problem, you know? We don't need them to be in a golden age. Archer and archer. Oh, that's a lot of strength. I probably should keep at least a few units back to stop barbs from spawning down here, but honestly, we have bigger priorities right now. I'd rather build a new army and go and deal with the barbs separately. Pingala's already established. Just about, so we'll get connoisseur. I want to push through this early stage of the tree, and we'll immediately go for researcher as well. Next turn, big bonuses. Here's my religion. In you go immediately. In order to double up on all of the things that I'm doing nicely, we're going to go for choral music. We have shrines in all of our cities, and the extra culture will stack with my unique infrastructure to get me through the tree as quickly as possible. And of course, we're going to go for crusade, because crusade Mapuche is one of the finer things in life. It's just so much fun. As you can see, we had holy sites in both of these cities, so both of them count as converted now. All of our great profit points are now being put into faith, which means we have a lot coming in. We should be able to get missionaries super quickly. Quick trader in. If you build a government plaza, you might as well go for the early trader. The yields are going to be fantastic. 2 turns on mysticism. That will unlock another envoy for me. Then we can claim Muscat. Bit of visibility, bit of era score. Chocolate Hills. There's the middle of the map wonder. There's always one. And mysticism has given me the 2 envoys I need to claim Muscat. And there was another city-state below it as well, a culture city-state. Amazing. 3-turn political philosophy now. We're so close to getting horseback riding. My first source, all horse. All I need is the horses. We should be able to get ourselves a large army very quickly. I'm just leaving a lot of these units in the middle of the land for no reason whatsoever. And my first missionary is now going to go out. I wonder who I'll be converting. I wonder. Political philosophy, horseback riding, oligarchy will be needed when war comes. Until then, classical republic means that we can work on strategios to get some great general points in. We'll go for the charismatic leader. Urban planning is fine. Just saving up on some horses before we start making them. Maybe land surveyors, considering I'm just about to buy a tile. Saves just a little bit of gold. Bam, second source of horse. 1 spread, 1 city converted. Now next up, bronze working. One of the main jobs my missionaries got at the moment is to actually go and explore. I need to know where all of Norway's cities are. Norway just has so little military strength. I do believe this is the easier take. Always looking at your immediate neighbors to see who's weak, who's strong, who's likely to resist you. A little bit of science if I trade with Norway, but 3 food and 2 production. It's a good internal route. We'll get that going quickly. Second city, converted. All of the era score as well. 2 era score for every time we convert something, and the swordsman. That's useful. Did we get any iron? Oh, I did underneath my unique district. That's unfortunate. That is actually under a mine. So, okay, so we've got 1 source. Right, horseman turn. We have a lot of horses coming in per turn. 6 per turn. Very good. Keep an eye on the deals. Look at this. That is a Maori swordsman, right? Yes. Very handy. And here is a swordsman on top of that. Oh, that's a ridiculously strong army all of a sudden. Oh, and Norway looks like they're going to come attack me. No joke. They are moving on me. Do you see all these warriors and stuff moving? And there's a settler there. I'm sorry. I'm going to strike first. My trade deal to them has expired. They are no longer paying me for the relics, so let's just quickly switch to oligarchy for 20% extra experience on my units and plus 4 combat strength on my melee troops. Maneuver to get horsemen quicker. Conscription to save me a bit of gold. Bit of urban planning. Strategos works well. And we'll see, has Norway met anyone? No, they haven't. Surprise wartime. Yes, I know. I know. It means I can just steal this city immediately. Oh, that's unfortunate for you. Hold the ground in the woods for now. They can attack me whilst my swordsmen arrive to just reinforce everything nicely. I've got archers as well. We've got horsemen being finished in 4 turns now. Mapuche is about to start popping, and equestrian orders helps even more. More horse per turn. Imagine how much source of horse I could get. Okay, they are counterattacking, which is unfortunate, but there's iron and horses here. So you know what? I'm just going to pull back, and we're going to say, fine, if you want to attack me there, you're very very welcome to. It's all about just taking the surprise wars whenever you can. Claim any scalp possible. My capital is also looking for more breathtaking tiles. I want as much culture as I can get, and these unique improvements are amazing. However, horseman spamming? Go on then. You insist? My scout is just going to have a little look in and see what we can find. I lost a warrior, but okay, that's fine. Honestly, the trade of one warrior for a city is a good trade. And my archers are in position to start firing on these units. Oh, it doesn't have any loyalty, but I don't care. This is going to be a fantastic little staging post of chaos. Very easily defendable as well. And it's giving me iron per turn. So just give yourself a second to think about life, get a builder, chop some stuff out. I think this is a really, really good forward post. Plus, they're probably going to send all of their troops to attack this. Ah, yeah, a CAD has been levied. Never mind. It's no problem at all. We don't mind a CAD being levied. And you can attack my swordsman if you want, but it's standing in safe territory, which means it's very, very happy to just be there and exist. Another missionary. All of my faith going into missionaries. We have more crusade to spread. And look, my scout hasn't been killed yet, so there's a good bit of pillaging. Oh yeah. Now unlocked swordsman, so I've got that upgrade. We go for catapults next. I think let's go masonry into catapults. I'm just going early game warfare here. Something nice about classical warfare. When you get it right, it's wonderful. And speaking of getting it right, there's our first source of horse. Maneuver's still good. We're going to still print out horsemen where we can, but equestrian orders, that helps nicely. Oh, taking out the iron mine is really, really good. It means that Norway is not going to have anywhere near as much iron as they did before. And here's another luxury. I diverted briefly because now Philip's Potato of Doom isn't quite as unhappy as it was. I do need a governor there. So let's get defensive tactics now. We can hold this city just for a little bit. The scout's being attacked, but it's not going to stop pillaging. Let's be as annoying as possible. The Toa gives -5 combat strength to all adjacent units. It's very effective just to be moving around, almost like an anti-great general. And we're starting to pick up more swordsmen now. More horsemen? Okay. Now I've run out of horses. That's a shame. I'll have enough in 2 turns. Well, let's put 2 turns into the Warlord's Throne, and then we'll go from there. Pushing the troops forward. Kill after kill after kill. Yes, the horsemen are way stronger than anything Norway's got at the moment. At the moment being the, important bit. That might change. Breathtaking tile, unique improvement, 1 production, 3 culture. It just makes sense. Our archers are still peppering the enemy. Our swordsmen are pushing forward with battle cry. So far so good. So far so good. Sweden's buying Diplo favor. All is right in the world when Sweden starts buying Diplo favor. That's all I'm saying. So we lost the scout, but don't worry, they stole like 100 gold's worth of stuff. So they were by far worth the investment. Now we just keep pushing forward. What I would really love is to get my troops in a position where we can get the missionary in as soon as possible to start spreading to the capital. The capital is where the population is. That's where we would like to be. We're still pushing our units forward. And now we are into crusade territory. And as you can see, the +10 combat strength is lovely. I don't think it makes sense to not attack this turn. The city can't heal all the damage I'm doing to it. Yeah, done. There's iron here and everything. Oh, so useful. Well, there's 1 attack and 2. Knowledge of mathematics is boosted. The religion's here. The loyalty is pretty much... Oh, it's fine. In fact, now Philip's Potato of Doom is totally loyal. Look at that. I've even got a campus with a library. That actually helps me perfectly because of my Pantheon. I'm getting an extra great scientist point per turn. Lovely. I really have never considered Coupe's unique unit to be like a great general, but it sort of is, because depending on where you put it, that -5 is incredibly helpful. Like, I've even got archers that are benefiting from the catapults now having -5 strength, so they're doing a lot more damage. Admittedly, I didn't think about that though, because the burning rainforest is probably going to spread to this tile next turn. So I almost don't want to move the unit onto it because it'll probably get killed by the fire, but a warrior is probably okay to sacrifice. Let's sacrifice that so that I can keep the army going forward. I can probably pull back from that tile if I would so need. And I don't almost need this horseman now. The ridiculousness of the speed that we've attacked, I don't think I need the other horseman, so I'm actually going to swing now. And instead of going Warlord's Throne, what I would normally do is Warlord's Throne and immediately go and attack these 2. But ultimately, we're not showing off Mapuche. This is just me playing deity really well because I'm a legend and so modest. So I'm going to set up better so I can use the raiders and our abilities. We were going to just pace this game a little bit. So rather than Warlord's Overlord's Throne, I'm actually going to take Ancestral Hall, which is mad because I don't need to, but I will, mainly because I can. Let's go for the walls and Radiatore as well to try and get the boost on engineering. We'll do what we can. I think there's a lot of extra stuff that we can get here. As soon as we have oligarchic legacy, we can come off that. We can go to a better government. It should be fine. And it looks like the fire didn't spread, which is quite fortunate for us. Nice. Fish of Death spread at war. That's 5 era score, 3 from being at war and 2 from my dedication bonus. Lovely. Archers are going to move around and start to flank. Toa will do a little bit of damage against the catapult. The horsemen will run around. And the loyalty hit. Oh, the loyalty hit is so much fun. Minus 20 loyalty. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you kill a couple of units every turn, what ends up happening is the city loses loyalty and it loses production for that turn. So if they're building walls, if they're building reinforcement troops, none of them are going to get finished. It can be a really, really, really good way to just limit the ability of the AI to get a defense again. Oh no, the warrior is actually headed to my capital. That's actually quite annoying. Don't do that. Don't do that. My army's over here. Go and rescue your own lands, please. Thank you. More loyalty penalty. It's almost too easy. Almost. Not quite too easy, but almost too easy. The fire is out, so we can attack. Moving the horsemen onto this tile. I could pillage for a decent chunk of science, but I'm not going to. I would rather use the infrastructure myself. So here we go. The damage on the capital now. It's sieged. It can't heal itself. This is the last stand of Norway. They're offering me a little bit of gold. It's not enough. Now we don't need maneuver anymore. Let's go to conscription. Equestrian orders is pretty helpful because we're selling all of this stuff. AI actually hasn't decided it dislikes me yet, and there are some really good deals around. Really good deals. Oh yeah. 1 attack and 2 attack and 3 attack. The capital is a mine. And again, the library makes this city incredibly useful, especially with Geneva on the map. It's quite lucky that we caught Norway when we did, to be absolutely honest with you. They had enough campuses here to mean that at some point they were going to get a lot of combat strength. We should be able to move in just in the nick of time, just in the nick of time. And rather than Victor, I'm actually going to go for Reina, which sounds like a very strange second choice, but I have a little bit of a strategy here that should hopefully help a lot. And can you see all cities within 9 tiles of this Reina city now have +4 loyalty? So look at this. Mapuche, able to just hold cities down so well. Everything is now loyal. Sweden has denounced me. No matter. Gilgabro will always be my ally. Oh, Sweden. Sweden, I think I'm going to have to come and attack you next. It's just needed. Didn't quite manage to get Crusade spread to Christiansen. Never mind. Bergen will go down next. We've got the horsemen crossing the river. We've got swordsmen advancing on all fronts. This shouldn't take too long to be taken down, especially now Norway only has 95 strength. There's the siege on Bergen. Here is the Crusade-led attack. Everyone else, make your way over to Christiansand. The scientist has been bought by Norway. That you really do have other things you should be worried about, but fine. And there's a swordsman in Christiansand. This is a very strong city now. Maybe I do need to just spread my religion to it. It's going to actually spread in 6 turns naturally. That's fine. I could wait. I could look to pillage everything, but I'm not going to. Speed is absolutely fine. We have the Oracle. We've got boosts to loads of stuff. Again, Zhejiang, you have some amazing stuff with the campus. The Oracle is going to be a huge win in this city. This could be my new campus-based Pingala city. I will have a look at this one, but that could be where we go now as the siege on Christiansand. Now archers can start doing a tiny bit of damage. Not a lot, but a small amount. Oh, there's a shrine in this city. Oh, go on then. I'll have a little bit more culture and a missionary. If I can spread crusade to a city, I will, because I don't want to have to do the hard work myself. If I can take some of this work off me, that sounds brilliant. So go on, Mr. Missionary. Off you pop. That's a trader. Thank you. I'll plunder that. 50 gold. Lovely. 3 builder. Thank you very much. A little bit of spare faith. I could get a tiny bit of pillaging. We'll get a small amount. But having the Toa here means that this swordsman is going to have a huge penalty if it does decide to attack out. So I'm hoping it won't. I'm hoping it'll learn its lesson and just stay put. And here is the last of the crusade. Attack. Attack. Now, as you can see, we're doing sufficient sufficiently more damage that I think we might as well just rush the issue. I don't see any reason to wait. Norway is out. That was too quick. Now to do some economy. I want to actually show why Mapuche is so powerful, and I feel like we went too quickly to even enjoy it. All of these captured cities are just fixing what's broken and then getting builders in. So background henchmen, Zhejiang, Daddy Todd, Matt Beard, everyone is just fixing and then going straight to builders. It's such a strong play when you take over a city. Feudalism being boosted by all of these farms that Norway kindly left. Very good. It's what you want to see. It's what you need to see. Look at that though. 2 cities goes to 7. And I've only had to make 2 of them myself, which means my settler cost is still incredibly cheap. That'll be very helpful in a bit. Bit of extra culture when I finish buildings or doing full damage to city walls. Akkad, sorry, you were so brilliant for Norway. I'm going to claim you as my own. I'll keep an eye out for high appeal tiles. Remember, even in my conquered territory, I can put my unique improvements down and we can look to get a lot of extra culture. These things will just get better and better and better. I also want to keep an eye on Reina. Reina is going to be really handy in a city with a lot of appeal, but also a lot of unimproved features like woods. So for instance, background henchman is going to be a fantastic place for her. So off you pop. I'm actually now going to move Pingala out as well, because don't forget, Pingala is adding 5% production and culture and 10% experience to all units made in the city. But up here, this would be a tripled bonus. So Pingala is indeed going to go over to Zhejiang because that's Oracle and that's a campus. There is an amazing synergy going on here. We can chop out some of the unappealing tiles like the marsh. We can make this a perfect, beautiful city. Feudalism. You know what? I'm actually going to do something I rarely do just because it's a mechanic in the game that I don't think a lot of people know about. I'm currently in oligarchy, but to be honest with you, this +4 combat strength card isn't something I'm going to need later into the game. I would rather have the Classical Republic card. So I'm going to go back to Classical Republic, but I've already been a Classical Republic, I hear you cry. I know. What will happen is my entire nation will go into anarchy for 3 turns. What does this mean? I can't look at my government at all. None of my policies will do anything, and I get no science and no culture and no gold. Or actually no faith as well. It all just disappears. You still make things. It's just a bit of a delay as people sort stuff out. It's one of those little mechanics that I really enjoy because I never do it, because why would you do it? It's really silly to do it. But there you go. If you've never seen it before, here it is. Enjoy. This army is not going to charge across the map and just end the game really quickly. Now we're going to spend probably till about turn 150 building the economy up, and we're going to have a later game rush. It'll be great. We actually finished drama and poetry. How did we do that? I'm supposed to be earning no culture. Some weird thing happening there. I actually don't know how that works at all. The Ancestral Hall is finished. Now all of my cities will very kindly produce builders when I make them, and a lot of cities are going to start making settlers now. This is not a game where I have a single city producing an absolute ton of settlers. There's going to be a lot of cities producing a lot of settlers, and it's going to be great. Reina is now getting forestry management as well. 2 gold for each unimproved feature, and all tiles adjacent to unimproved features receive 1 appeal. So luckily, this tile, which currently has 4 breathtaking appeal, it will actually go to 5, and this one, which is currently 5, will go to 7. This one will go to 5. Oh, it's going to be just the best city for very high culture. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Kappa Yobby Virani, The Uncivil Engineer, Lillian, Radiatore, Technology Poet, Poppy Dude, Clibben Ferdaz, Dayboy91, Mushkin Mandletort, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedge, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Mixomatosis, MTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Teddy Zursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Morax, Sinikush, Echo Bear, Deja Fu, Kovuwu, Legally Trash, Is This Live, Minnow, Sorted Dutch, Rad Bickley, Shadow of Gaia, Flower Power Bear, Dan Jamo, Buster Blader, Bob Tway, Toddler, Abstract Fun, Slither Alley. Thank you everyone for your support. Goodbye!